Hello everyone, welcome to Grinds Online Ireland. I'm Tara and today we're going to be covering complex numbers. So our question today is if 2 minus 3i is a root of the equation z cubed minus 2z squared plus 5z plus 26 is equal to 0, find the other two roots. Now guys, this is a really simple question if we just remember one thing. If one root is a complex number, so in this case z minus or 2 minus 3i is a root, then the complex conjugate must also be a root. So 2 plus 3i must also be a root, and that will always be true when we have real numbers only in front of the z's here. So if these two are roots, then we can find the factors by just bringing the numbers over here. And if we do that, we're going to get z minus 2 plus 3i as one factor, and z minus 2 minus 3i as the other factor. Now, to find the other root, the third root, and we know there's three roots because the highest power of the z is to the power of 3. So it's a cubic, and a cubic always has three roots. To find the other roots, what we first do is we multiply these two factors together. So if I multiply those two together, I'm going to get z minus 2 plus 3i multiplied by z minus 2 minus 3i. So let's multiply that out together. So we'll have the z multiplied by the z will give us z squared. Then we'll have the z by the minus 2 will be minus 2z. And then finally the z by the minus 3i will be minus 3iz. Okay, so now the 2. So the minus 2 and the z will be minus 2z. Minus 2 by minus 2 will give us plus 4. And minus 2 by minus 3i will give us plus 6i. And then finally this 3i, so we'll have 3i multiplied by z, that'll give us plus 3iz. Plus 3i multiplied by minus 2 will give us minus 6i. And plus 3i minus 3i, that's going to give us minus 9i squared. Okay, so let's see if we can simplify this long equation down anymore. So we see here that the 3iz cancels out the minus 3iz, the minus 6i cancels out the plus 6i, and that I squared, guys, you should remember I squared is always equal to minus 1. So what we can do is we can scribble out that I squared, and it'll be minus 9 times minus 1 will give us plus 9. So we can rewrite this now. We'll add the two minus z's together to get minus 4z. So we'll get z squared minus 4z, and then we'll have plus 4 plus 9. That'll be plus 13. Okay, so that's going to be the two factors of the roots multiplied together. So that's our first step in finding the third root. The final step then in finding the third root is algebraic division, guys. So that's that really horrible long algebra, okay? So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to divide our two roots into the big equation here. So in that case, we're going to get z squared minus 4z plus 13, and then all that's dividing the z cubed minus 2z squared plus 5z plus 26. Okay, so first job, z cubed divided by z squared, that's going to give us z. And now we're going to multiply that z back into down here. And if we do that, we'll get z cubed. So then we'll have the z by the minus 4z will give us minus 4z squared. And then plus 13 multiplied by z will give us plus 13z. Second step now, change all the signs. So the z cubed will become a minus z cubed, a plus 4z squared, and a minus 13z. And we're going to add them all up then. So the z's cancel each other out. The z squares, we're going to be left with 2z squared, and plus 5z minus 13z will give us minus 8z. And we're going to bring down then that 26. And we do it all over again now. So the 2z squared multiplied by the z squared, that's going to give us plus 2. And then we're going to, or divided, sorry, and then we're going to multiply it back in. So we'll get 2z squared minus 8z plus 26. Again, we change all the signs, so the minus 2z squared becomes, or the 2z squared becomes a minus 2z squared. The minus 8z becomes a plus 8z, and the plus 26 becomes a minus 26. And then if we add them all up, they all cancel each other out, and we get 0. So we know we're right when we get 0 at the end. And guys, it's this final thing up here that is the final factor of our equation. So again, to find the root, we set our factor equal to 0, and then we bring over the number, so the final root will be minus 2. So from this question then we can conclude that one root, z, is going to be minus 2. Another root, well, they gave it to us, will be 2 plus 3, 2 minus 3i. And then if a complex conjugate, and then the complex conjugate is always going to be another root if one of the roots is a complex number. So 2 plus 3i. So a quick summary there, guys. So we needed to find the roots of a complex equation. To do that, what we first noticed was, okay, so one root is a complex number, so that must mean its complex conjugate is a complex number. We then multiply the two factors of those roots together, and we get z cubed. In this case, we got z squared minus 4z plus 13. And then you get those two multiplied factors, and you divide it into your equation to get the other factor. Set the other factor then equal to 0, and you will get your root. And as usual, guys, a big box for the examiner in the exam for your answers, just so they'll stand out.